Have you ever just felt completely stuck trying to learn a new language? Like you're hitting a wall? Well, what if I told you there's a simple and, honestly, a totally counterintuitive method that one guy used to master 18 different languages? And he did it over 100 years ago. Let's dive into this incredible and very true story. 18. Seriously, just let that number sink in for a second. We're not talking about 2 or 3 languages. 18 distinct languages. It sounds completely impossible, right? Like something only a once-in-a-generation genius could ever pull off. But the method he used, well, that's something anyone can actually try. So this is the big question. How on earth did one person, starting with basically nothing, achieve a level of language mastery that most of us can only dream about? The answer is both way stranger and, believe it or not, a lot simpler than you'd think. Okay, so the man behind this legend was Heinrich Schliemann. And he wasn't some stuffy university professor or a sheltered academic. No, this was a real person who used language as a tool to literally transform his entire life. He was born in Germany in 1822 to a poor family, and he had very little formal education. But through just sheer force of will and this really unique method, he became a wildly successful businessman, a pioneering archaeologist. This is the guy who discovered the ancient city of Troy, and of course, a world-class polyglot. Just look at the speed of his progress. This was not a lifetime of slow, casual study. The man was acquiring multiple languages per year, English and French in 42, 3 more the next year. This timeline just screams that there's a powerful, repeatable engine for learning at work here. So how did he do it? Well, he developed a system that went against pretty much everything we're taught in school. It was a simple 4-step process that was, for his time, just completely revolutionary. Let's break it down. So on the left, you see the traditional approach, right? The one we all know. Memorizing word lists, dissecting grammar, constantly translating back and forth. It's slow, it's often frustrating. Schliemann's method, on the right, is all about massive immersion and active use, reading out loud, writing every day, and memorizing corrected texts. And you've got to notice that last, kind of shocking rule. This was absolutely crucial. Never translate. Schliemann believed that translating from your native language actually creates this mental barrier, right? It's a detour your brain has to take every single time. By just refusing to translate, you force your brain to build a direct bridge, a direct connection between a new word and its meaning. You learn to think in the language itself. And this is his learning cycle. Step 1. Massive input by reading aloud. Step 2, consistent output by writing about stuff he actually cared about. Step 3, getting that writing corrected. And step 4, this is the secret sauce, memorizing the corrected version and then reciting it. This creates this incredibly powerful feedback loop that's constantly refining his language skills. Now, if you're feeling a little skeptical, this next story is for you. Schliemann put his method to the absolute ultimate test when he decided to learn Russian while he was living in Amsterdam, a city where he could not find a single Russian teacher. I mean, think about that challenge for a second. No classes, no one to practice conversation with, nobody to even ask for help with pronunciation. He was completely, totally on his own. So what did he do? His resources were just unbelievably sparse: an old grammar book, a dictionary, and a novel. But to solve that problem of accountability, making sure he did his daily recitation, he came up with this brilliantly strange solution. This just perfectly illustrates his commitment. He paid someone just to sit there and listen, forcing himself to do 2 hours of loud recitation every single day. This guy wasn't a teacher. He was an accountability partner. He created external pressure to guarantee his own consistency. It's kind of genius. And the result of this intense, unorthodox training? After just 1 month, he was writing business letters to merchants in London and negotiating deals with Russian businessmen in Russian. It is a stunning, stunning testament to the power of his system. Okay, so this all might sound like some weird historical quirk, but what's so fascinating is that modern linguistics has actually proven why Schliemann's intuitive method is so incredibly effective. He was unknowingly applying scientific principles decades before they were even formally discovered. I mean, it all lines up perfectly. His massive reading? That aligns with what we now call the input hypothesis. His daily writing and correction cycle, a perfect example of the output hypothesis. His intense focus and his very practical motivation to do business. Those are textbook examples of what modern researchers have found in the world's best language learners. He was basically a one-man linguistics lab, just decades ahead of his time. And the core of his method, reading aloud, is a true learning superpower. It engages your eyes, your ears, and your mouth all at the same time, creating multiple pathways in your brain for the information to stick. This multi-sensory approach makes memory and recall dramatically more effective than just reading silently. So, the story is inspiring, the science is solid, but how can you apply this? You don't need to hire a listener or get noise complaints from your neighbors. Let's distill Schliemann's intense system into a manageable daily plan that you can actually use. And this right here is the key takeaway. The goal is not to copy Schliemann's extreme, borderline crazy intensity. The goal is to copy his system and just apply it consistently. Consistency will outweigh brute force every single time. Okay, here it is. A simple 30-minute workout. 10 minutes of just reading aloud material that you actually find interesting. 10 minutes of imitation or shadowing, where you listen to a native speaker and just repeat right after them to get the rhythm and the flow. And finally, 10 minutes of retelling what you just experienced in your own words. That's it. Input, imitation, and output. And for the next 30 days, try to let go of the old habits. Just for a bit. Stop memorizing random vocabulary lists. Actively fight that urge to translate in your head. Don't get bogged down in complex grammar theory. Just trust this simple, active process. Heinrich Schliemann's story proves that the right method, when you apply it with consistency, can produce just extraordinary results. It shifts the whole focus from studying a language to actively using it right from day one. So the real question isn't just about language. It's about what seemingly impossible skill you could start to master if you just had the right system.